Hello everyone and good evening to you from Singapore. We are here under the lights for round 5 of Formula Hololive International 2024-2025. We are here for the Singapore Super Prix. And as always, let's take a look into the track map for details. Hello helicopter. We're looking at a track now length 4.94 kilometers or around 3.07 miles, 19 corners, down from 23 back when they have the harbor chicanes. We're also going to be racing for only 41 laps for a total of 200 kilometers. Looking at our target lap time, we may look at a 1:47.543. Of course, this being a street circuit means that this is going to be a slower circuit, a slower race than your average Super Prix races in Formula Hololive International, but it's still going to be an interesting race nonetheless. It's Formula Hololive's night race, well, at least the one that's the more popular one. And anyways, it's the debut for the circuit, of which it would have made its debut in 2023, but due to some logistics issues, the plan was cancelled for Formula Hololive Japan, but it was revived by Formula Hololive International. Our circuit is of course very much known for being the host of Formula One's Singapore Grand Prix, which eventually killed the Malaysian Grand Prix somewhat, but we'll get into that later. But anyways, that's all the details you really need to know about Singapore. So let's take a look into the championship order for basically the entire championship standings. Of course, the Suzuka round was cancelled due to driver misconduct, so we're going to be taking the championship standings after Atlanta for this one. So of course, Muhammad Shazin Reza, the newly crowned full-time driver for Kaseki Bijou after 3 seasons for Memorial Luna, currently sits in the championship lead, just only about 70 points ahead of Ryan Kagawa in the Norris Arabia Crop number 76. Then the Rizzler in second, and the Bibu Tax is in the championship lead. Javier Lusby is currently representing Vesha Zeta, and there will be a rumor that Lusby will have his car renumbered to the number 07 due to Vesha Zeta wanting to be more associated with that number. So, but we'll get into that later. Hanari Miyuki racing for Copa Canero holds number 40. He sits at 515. Zeke Wimberley with his one win at Montreal. He sits at 509. Then there's Nichi Micha, Egypt Bertelsen, Caminero Reba, Juan Castanto, and Corey Rica Mendez in the top 10. Aziz Moazif, Loziz Oik Boschval, Albert Metal, Short Sven Jensen, and Yuri Rafael Oliveira make up 11th to 15th, with Liam Kai 16th. But he has requested that he wants to leave the server until further notice. So Liam Kai is currently replaced by Joey until further notice. So we're going to cross out Liam Kai's name after the race is concluded. I think Yazid 17th, Takeda Adachi 18th. Leonardo Santiago in his song season for Watson Emilia sits 19th, and Tyler Williams 20th for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame. Evelyn Kromis is 21st for Ergal Gura, and Jake Martinez, who is set to race his final home race, his final race in Formula Hololive International before racing for Hiroshi Ao full time. And his final race for Mori Calliope is going to be a home race, so Jake Martinez is in the Mori Calliope car. 9 hours ago, they were in Japan racing in the Tsuyo Cup, or well, for the 3 drivers. But for Jake Martinez, who had his seat taken by Joshua Azurit, who of course became an interim driver for Hiroshi Ao for that Zako Cup race. Jake Martinez is here in Singapore to race for Mori Calliope at home for his final rodeo for the Grim Reaper / streamer. Nishita is 23rd, Jonathan Waters, now replaced by Rudy Chu, will also replace the name later. Don Release 25th, Dan Evans 26th, Al Santana 27 in his penultimate race for Gigi Marine before he gives it to Kyuta Sano. Shino Markman, of course, is the last driver in the list before he has yet to crack 100. He races for Mokogo Abyssguard. Now that out of the way, I'd like to introduce the commentary booth for tonight. My name is Muhammad Shazin Reza, and of course this is just Muhammad Shazin Reza in the booth. Nothing too special, as this is yet another commentary moment where I have to do it solo. So now we're going to get this qualifying session underway for the international stage. We've already raced Japan cars in both the CU and Zako Cups in Okayama earlier today, but this time it's Formula Hololive's turn to race. Wait up, Formula 1. It's not your turn yet, it's our turn. So first car's out on track. Don Elise, the first car to be out. So I just want to remind you that the cameras have yet to be updated. So if the cameras start to if the cars start to approach the new back straight, which which used to house the double chicanes facing the harbor. Then I apologize for that one because we haven't installed the new cameras. But anyway, Carz now out on track. Here's Evelyn Chromie, Yazi, a few cars on track. Cars now ready to get themselves warmed up and limited up for this qualifying run. Chanel Markman, August Warndam, Takeda Adachi, Rafa de Oliveira out. Juanica Stanto also out as well. Ludwig Boschval. There's Dan Evans and Ryan Kagawa. Zeke Wimberly also out on track as well. Of course, he is currently the record wins holder for Formula Hololive and Formula Hololive International, sitting at 5 wins. He's won 1 in JP, 4 in International, 3 in the last season alone, at least International. So he's knows his ability to win Super Prix. So let's see if he's able to ace the strategy. And here's Jake Martinez, the man in question that we want to talk about. He's the only Singaporean in the international grid right now, and he's set to be replaced by, of course, Joshua Azurid, who will be set to take over the Mori Calliope car starting from the Indonesia Grand Prix. So Jake Martinez has got a lot of things to teach for the young student. But anyways, Martinez just wanting to take up the scene here as he races at home for what should be his first and final time. So he's gonna need to make the most out of the situation. So as you can see here, coming into the new back straight of passing by the former grandstand that once housed the harbor chicanes and the Esplanade, if I'm not mistaken. I don't memorize it now. So anyways, let's go on board Jake Martinez here. Coming into turns 18 and 19. To start the lap, we're going to ignore the traffic in front of him this time. And now coming into turn 1 here, he goes on the inside 100-meter board here to make a move down the inside of Zeke Wimberly. Well, this is a great racing into turns 2 and 3. Okay, and then blast yourself into this short section here, and then brake at a 50-meter board into turn 4 for this long back straight. And you see here, very, very long, very, very picturesque here in the night lights of. And then there's a king turn 5, and then turn 6, which is the Memorial, and then coming into Stanford turn 8, 50-meter marker is going to be the one that you're going to be using. And now coming to turn 9 at Padang, turn 9. And then coming into turn 10, Singapore Sports Lane used to have 3 APCs, but now only has 1. But still tricky nonetheless to get it right. Turns 10. And then into the right-hander of turn 11. And then the left-hander of turn 12. And then turn 13 here, slight right-hand kink before the hairpin. And then a slight blast off into this section here, coming into Canal. 117.7 will be more Jake Martinez's time as he comes to the exit of Canal. And now coming into the left-hand kink of turn 15. Very much flat out here. Each other just overtaking opportunities. And into turn 16 and 17. 100-meter board into the 16-17 chicane. And then into turns 18 and 19. You should try to bring as much speed as possible here. And that should be a lap here in Singapore, as Jake Martinez sets a 147.106, sets himself 7 for now. I am just going to double check on the thingy and see if so anyways, I'm just going to give a bit anyways, Joshua Azurid was asking where his name was. And yes, there is his name. His name is actually in the race results and not in the championship standings. So anyways, Jake Martinez, we'll just still focus on him for a while, as we'll see what he's been doing so far, and also to showcase you the camera issues that we are going to be experiencing around turns, around after turn 15, as Rafael de Oliveira now sets the 17th fastest time. So as you can see here, this is the camera that used to be part of the whole thing, and you can see here that you just can't see anything at this point, but not coming into right here, you're able to see it again. And just wanted to cross-check on the other cars. Javier Lusby now currently sits on provisional pole for Vesta Zeta. Chanel Markman in second. Hinochi Tayo is in third. Kagawa fourth. Chanel Markman, of course, having a pretty poor start of the season. Only 73 points out of those first three races. So he's looking to see some marked improvements in that Mokoko number 52. Also, we forgot to remind you of this news. Congratulations for Jufute Raiden for her hologram debut. Of course, Chanel Markman is currently representing both Mokoko Bisgard and Jufute Raiden, and of course, Markman is right here racing for both of them until we can find either full-time driver for Mokoko or Jufute Raiden. Meanwhile, Alson Tarao, 146.875, he wants to right the wrong that he has seen in the Okayama Super Prix Suzuya Cup race, where he essentially retired by hitting the curves way too hard and then rolling over. It's just Alson Tarao thinks to literally be out of the race due to you being the unluckiest driver there is. Looking into the rest of the field, Southern Reza is uncharacteristically down in 20th, the championship leader. Eden Burleson, driving the very much hyped Nana Shimome number 21, currently sits in 19th. Meanwhile, we got Dan Evans staying in 18th, Sven Jensen in 17th, Miyuki 16th, Martinez, the hometown hero, sits in 15th, and Tanara 14th, Adachi 13th, Koyi Rico Mendes is in 12th, Nicky Michan 11th, Kamner Reba 10th, Aziz Muazif 9th, Yuri Rafael de Oliveira 8th, Joey, the new driver, replacing Liam Kai. And right now, Joey is going to solidify his place in 7th place. Castanto is in 6th, Hazik Yazid 5th, Ryan Kagawa 4th, Tayo 3rd, Markman 2nd, and Lusby still your pole position driver. Meanwhile, we got Rudy Chu. And now, of course, he forgot to bring his helmet, so we asked him to essentially borrow Angela Sims' helmet. So I'm not sure if this is the right move, but of course we are trying to at the very least honor a driver in the ARO, and of course you don't get to wear these types of helmets every day, so Rudy Chu might want to take this as an opportunity to respect a fallen comrade. Of course, that fallen comrade used to race for Anya Milpisam for the entire 23-24 season before tragically losing her life due to unfortunate circumstances. She's still in our memories. Anyways, back onto the racing scene, Rudy Chu is still making his way through the circuit. As we see Ethan Bertelsen in the backdrop. Nice to see a lot of people tuning in for the Singapore Super Prix. I know some of you are pretty much keen to see some Formula racing, while Formula 1 hasn't started their main race in COTA. So let's help you fill in that void by seeing some Formula Hololive racing. You know, I got Bernardo Santiago in that Watson Emilia number 88. He's doing very well to be up there. Meanwhile, for Rudy Chu, he has about 2 corners left that he wants to navigate, but he's just chosen to make his way into the pit lane, as well as that looks like Aziz Muazif. And rightfully so. Meanwhile, Hiroshi Taiyo is in third, 148.171. So, talking about Hinoshi Taiyo's season in the 23-24 season, she essentially has written off her chances coming into the end of the 23-24 season, saying that it's Hinowarida, as what she would put it, due to a string of bad results. And so, naturally, people will try to motivate her into continuing on despite and in spite of the struggles and the challenges. So Taiyo has been asked to keep going until the bitter end, and right now Hinoshi Taiyo, with the wisdom that she is currently having at the moment, as she keeps on learning the ropes on how to race in this series, how to race for Hoshinoba, Hinoshi Taiyo is currently barreling into this part of the track, coming into Kanang. She's currently sitting third, and if she can stay there in the podium places, then that will absolutely change the trajectory of her career. Of course, representing Hoshinoba Munam, the car has not been seeing a lot of luck up to this point. Meanwhile, Reza continues to slightly improve. He's now up in 21st. Speaking of which, the drivers who are currently down in 23rd and below, Evelyn Chromie for Gaugera currently down in 23rd, with Washfall in 24th. Tyler Williams 25th, currently putting himself into the pits, at least 26. Ahmed Al-Shor 27th, and Zeke Wimberly, surprisingly, the driver that should be winning races more often than not, is currently down in 28th. Now, here's a good characteristic about Wimberly. Consistently inconsistent, but when he's not consistently winning races, then he's winning races by quite the margin, as we're now coming to the final 2 minutes of qualifying. Let's see how these unfold. So right now, Javier Lusby has broken the lap time expectations thing. Also, for the viewers watching, hello everyone, and good evening to you from Singapore. We hope you enjoy Formula Hololive action in Marina Bay. And if you want to support us, you can drop a like if you like these Hololive types of racing. And if you want to see more Hololive racing, you can drop a subscription and hit the notification bell. And if you don't want to miss a beat, if you don't want to miss any of our uploads. So anyways, Chanel Markman and Hiroshi Taiyo are currently looking to turn their seasons around, while Javier Lusby is looking to retake the championship lead. All 28 cars available here in Singapore. Of course, this round is a prelude to the Hololive World Tour thingy sequence that has been going. Meanwhile, we're gonna go a bit of an onboard here to Chanel Markman to see how it progresses. Coming into the very picturesque Ferris wheel. Anyways, Chanel Markman is not going to be looking for some improvement until he would start his flying lap right now. Very great stuff here. And now coming into turn 1 and turn 2. A slight lag, but hopefully it doesn't bother you too much. Into turn 3, and then there's the slight left-hand kink. That's turn 4. Qualifying has officially concluded. Into turn 5. Nuoka code number 52 now barrels way into turn 6. Coming to the first sector timing being, well, will it be for Chanel Markman? He doesn't see any fastest time here, as he probably will not be able to contest Javier Lusby's pole position spot. So it's going to be likely that Markman is not going to be able to score a pole position, but he will start on the front row, and I believe he will start on the inside line coming into turn 1. So he still has a realistic chance to beat Javier Lusby at the first corner. So anyways, Chanel Markman still making his way into the final, the end of the second sector. Although with Carz right ahead, Koirica Mendes meanwhile is currently down in 13th place. Slower on the second sector. Amela Short at 16, Koirica Mendes 13, and Evelyn Kuromi sits well below in 25th. So of course, currently running a provisional helmet. She actually does have a helmet somewhere, but I think a lot of drivers has placed it somewhere. So they borrowed helmets from the ones in the, not exactly in the bin, but in a closet somewhere. But that should be the end of qualifying here, as we have now officially confirmed that Javier Lusby is your pole sitter for the Singapore Super Prix here in Formula Hololive International. And actually, we forgot to remind you that Ryan Kagawa have set a lap here. Oh man, we were so preoccupied with Chanel Markman that we have forgotten to realize that you know, it was during when Evelyn Kuromi was getting into the second and final chicane when Ryan Kagawa, from out of nowhere actually, secured a pole position with a 1:45.039. And that actually put Chanel Markman down in the second row. So apologies again if we missed the info. Again, one commentator can only do so much. But anyway, let's congratulate Ryan Kagawa for his pole position under the lights here in Singapore, as we're now going to get into the starting lineup here for the Singapore Super Prix. Ryan Kagawa for Narissa Ravencroft starts on pole position, and I don't know if he's exactly a jailbird or not, but we will try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Starts on pole position for Narissa Ravencroft with second place Javier Lusby for Vesha Zeta. Third place is Mokoko's is Chanel Markman with Hinochi Tayo for Hoshino Vamuna. Rafael de Oliveira races for Pavolia Reina with Hazuki Hazit 6 for Sherry Novella. Juan Casanto starts 7 for Oro Crony with Bernardo Santiago 8th for Watson Amelia. Joey in his Formula Hololive debut will start 9th for Hakos Bales with Azit Mwazev 10th for Ayunda Risu. 11th place is Kaminai Reba for Raura Pantera with 12th place Niki Michan for Fuawa Biscard. Koirica Mendes 13th for Takanashi Kiara with Takeda Adachi 14th for Ninema Inanis. Alson Tanara 15th for Gigi Marine with 16th place Ami Elashore for Kyla Kowalskia. Jake Martinez, the hometown driver, will start 17th for Mori Calliope with 18th Hanori Miyuki for Kobo Kanairu. 19th goes to Sven Jensen for Iris, and 20th is Rudy Chu for Anya Milfisa. Dan Evans starts 21st for Iranio 15th with 22nd Mawashan Reza for Koseki Biju. 23rd is Ethan Bertelsen for Nanashimoe with Zeke Wimberley 24th for Sarah's Fauna. 25th is Evelyn Cromie for Gao Giro with Luguay Boschwal. 26th for Cecilia Emmergreen. 27th is Tyler Williams for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, and running out of the field is Dawn Elise for Crazy Ollie. One last intermission before we officially get the start underway. We got Ryan Kagawa on pole position, and alongside him, of course, is Javier Lusby. So it's an EN and ID front row, still pretty much shared. But anyways, let's get this race properly underway. And the lights here in Singapore for the Singapore Super Prix. Who's going to be leading after the first 3 corners? We'll have to find out here in a few moments' time, as we get the cars now finally rolling. It's a pretty decent start here by Ryan Kagawa, but he's beaten by Javier Lusby on the inside line coming into the first 2 corners into turn 3. Let's see if Kagawa is able to hang around the outside. The answer is going to be no. It's Javier Lusby taking the race lead. And I think this may be strategic on why Lusby didn't want to pursue a faster lap. But anyways, Kagawa is now down in second. Markman third. Tayo fourth. Yazid fifth. Now under pressure for Yuri Rafael de Oliveira in sixth. Bernardo Santiago is in seventh. Costanto eighth. Wazif ninth. And Joey, the debutant, is currently in the top 10. Meanwhile, we got Reba and Michan. Oh, Michan gets shoved off slightly by Koi Rico there in coming into Stamford. This is going to be some interesting racing here, but this time some jostling for position between Elashore and Tanarau. Alcantara now trying to get a pretty decent exit here from Padang and into the Singapore sling. And then here's also Miyuki 17, Martinez 18. Sheldon Reza is now out of the equation here. It looks to me that Sheldon Reza had a bit of a problem here. Just wanted to check here what's happened here. Sheldon Reza and Evelyn Cromie have retired. I believe they have been involved in accidents. We're gonna be checking on what has happened here, or whatever the case is. Numbers 13 and 14 have already retired, but meanwhile we got a driver still continuing on. Sheldon Reza has retired, as we mentioned here with Don Elise, so they will be your DNFers. So I believe they have crashed off screen, so we'll be checking on their situation after the race to see what happened to them when they have DNF. Now we're looking at Javier Luspi now continuing to maintain the lead of this race. So this will mean that Sheldon Reza will be losing his championship lead to Luspi and Kagawa, who are currently his live championship contenders. Meanwhile, Chanel Markman and Hiroshitayo Hazigiazi make up the other parts of the top 5. Looking at the rest of the field, there's Moazif in 9th, still doing his own race as usual. Nice to see how the race under lights has been going here, and nice to see how the performance has been going for these drivers. They have now mostly get their acts together and race much more cleanly. And are there be any potential battles? The answer is going to be no so far, as the drivers are now just going to continue to race on as they should be. And then looking into the rest of the field, Adachi trying to get his way into Corey Rica Mendes, so we're gonna go on board here as we're about to get into this section. No battles so far. Looking at Javier Luspi now with the fastest lap of the race, 1:47.831 for the best Assetto driver. The key is really much open for Luspi, for him to get in control of this race. Of course, Javier Luspi, Ahmed El Ashor, and Hanari Miyuki represent the Holo Hero members who have been granted access to the bright uniforms since the Countdown 2023-2024 stream. Again, nice to see some good viewer turnout this time by. Meanwhile, we got Ahmed El Ashor now trying to make a move here against Takeda Adachi. This may end in tears, but he has to think better of, but not before he now thinks of a move down the inside against Takeda Adachi. Oh, Adachi will try to defend as much as he can. Here's Adachi. Still navigating the circuit as usual. Now, as for lap cars here, especially for a street track like this, there's going to be a lot of pandemonium, especially if you catch lap cars way too early and you're unable to make the pass on them. Speaking of which, we're on lap 3 now, so let's take a look into the race field monitor. Evelyn Cromie and Momo Reza are out of the race. Meanwhile, we're looking at a lot of these drivers who are now looking to... Oh, speaking of which, we have reset the fuel tanks for this one. So the drivers will not be making any pit stops here. So this will just be a full-on straight sprint to the finish. So I forgot to reset the fuel tank to 60. Ryan Kagawa now setting the fastest lap of the race despite the full fuel tank. So again, just want to remind you that this round, we forgot to... I just wanted to... So anyways, round lap 4, no pit stops are to be expected here, so it's going to be a straight up race to the finish. And based on earlier predictions on these types of races. So you have to expect that the driver who starts on the front row or in pole position will be the ones that will be winning this race. So anyways, here's Don Elise and here's Javier Lusby. So you can tell there's a huge spread of performance in the cars. So it's all about managing your pace. This is going to be the key on how to win these types of races, where pit stops are not going to be a factor. We have Nichi Michan now coming into Kaminari Riba, who is running 11. That's Riba, and then 12 is Nichi Michan. So. Alright, so we're gonna be checking if there are codes to check to redeem sometime later. So this is a very nice thingy to have. So anyways, we're still on a pretty decent race here. Picturesque scenes in Singapore. While we are seeing this race, let's take a look into the Singaporean skyline. You can see the Marina Bay building somewhere. As you can see here, here's the Marina Bay Sands, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not a native Singaporean, so I may not be able to tell that. So anyways, we got to see some potential battles here. Here comes Joey down the inside of Aziz Muazif. Will he be taking a move down the inside? The answer is no. No potential battles to look out. Well, we're not into lap 20 yet, so we haven't officially reached halfway. So Nichi Michan is able to defend against Corey Rica Mendes. Right now, everyone's still going single file here in Marina Bay Street Circuit. And right now it's still pretty much basic here, as all things considered. What potentially not basic here is the current running of the top three, which are now all separated by around a second until Haziq Yazid. And Yuri Rafa de Oliveira, Mimo de Oliveira, is ahead of Juan Castanto by 6 seconds. Oh, you can see here Aziz Muazif is probably thinking of a move here against Santiago, but they both have to think better off. Well, Muazif has to think better off as the move isn't going to be on. Ryan Kagawa currently representing the Jailbirds, and Racer Rainbow Cup is still looking to make a charge against Javier Lusby. And right now Kagawa is still trying his absolute best to get closer and closer, but right now there's nothing much to talk about. Speaking of which, other drivers, El Ashore, Archel trying to catch Takeda Adachi. While looking at Lusby's gap to himself and last place. Here's Don Elise currently at around turn 13. And Javier Lusby has now crossed the start-finish line. So you can tell that the lap cars, there's gap between them and the leaders are currently closing in. Meanwhile, we got Bernardo Santiago, who's now almost been overtaken by Aziz Moazif here. Oh, you can see here Santiago. Oh, gets pushed off by Joey. Moazif actually made the move against Santiago first. And now Santiago's struggling. And right now he's gonna be swamped by other drivers. He's already been swamped by Joey. And now you can see here that's Kaminari Rebel and Niji Michan. And that's Michan slamming into the inside wall as he tries to desperately get himself back onto the track. But it's gonna be a retirement for the Fuwawa Biscard driver. Tries to get himself back into it, but it's no use for the Fuwawa driver. Now it's up to Chanel Markman, the last of the Fuwamoco drivers still remaining to bring a result for the twin sisters. Now Santiago currently in 10th place. He's going to be chasing again. He's going to try to chase against Joey. He lost 2 positions, but that was very, very much scrappy as far as the battle for position were concerned. We now have 3 retirements in this race. Nichimi-chan joins Mohamed Shazan Reza and Evelyn Kuromi is the list of DNFers. Jake Martinez currently running in 18th in his home race. Not the race that he's been looking for, but at the very least, it's a home race to talk about nonetheless. At least he gets to race at home in Formula Hololive, so that is a bit of a positive that he can carry. Aziz Moazif currently chasing Juan Castanto for 7th place. Moazif is already faster than Castanto by just about over half of a second. As you can see here, Castanto struggling to keep Moazif at bay. Joey and Santiago are also catching up. So Moazif is going to be looking for his very, very sweet exit from this corner. But will it be close enough? Oh, you gotta love the sound of those V6 engines, though. These engines are actually very similar to the, literally the same engines that were used in Formula 3, but you slap a turbo on it. So just a bit of a fun fact to write about. Chanel Markman currently in 3rd place, now trying to catch up to Kagawa and Looseby. The gaps now drop down between about less than 2 seconds between 1st and 3rd. Markman needing to do his braking pretty decently. And coming into turns 18 and 19, they are now ready to continue to strike, that is. And you can see here Markman gets very closer to Looseby and Kagawa. Markman is down in the near fringes, is actually at the bottom of the Formula Hololive International table. Meanwhile, Looseby and Kagawa are near at the top, and they're looking to use this opportunity to dislodge Mohamed Shazan Reza from the spot at the top. Oh, you look at the Singaporean skyline, it's still pretty nice. But anyways, let's not get distracted here. Looseby have now lost his luster. Oh, and that is Ryan Kagawa opening up a gap there against Looseby. Not sure what the problem was. Here comes, oh, there's a potential battle here. Here's Adachi and Alshore. Alshore and Adachi have swapped places. Adachi is now up into 13th place. There's still a lot of this race to go. So anyways, hello everyone. Welcome on board to the stream. We're watching the Singapore Super Prix for Formula Hololive International, round 5 of the 24-25 season. If you like the stream and you like Formula Hololive racing, you can drop a like on these videos and the streams. If you want to see more Hololive racing, you can drop a subscription. Oh, and that is actually someone going down the inside of Costanto, that was. Well, it's close. But anyways, if you don't want to miss any of the videos coming up, there's a notification bell that you can hit. But anyways, here's onboard Aziz Muazif to see if he's able to catch up. But right now, there's nothing so far that suggests that might be the case. Man, these sounds are very, very good. Meanwhile, Hinoshi Tayo currently sits in 4th. It's never over, they said. Hinoshi Tayo now also waiting in the wings to see if either of the top 3 drivers will make a mistake or not. Looking at the rest of the field here, Evans 22nd, Williams 23rd, Boswell 24th, Elise 25th. Of course, Nichimi-chan is one of the DNFers alongside Momo Reza and Evelyn Kuromi. They are currently serving their time in the pits as we speak. Here's Reza in the Koseki Beach number 14. Yeah, that's a decent amount of damage, it seems. And also Evelyn Kuromi for Gaogura. So 9 laps complete in Singapore as we're about to get into lap 10. We're currently on lap 10, coming into 10 laps complete. Lusby currently on his own charge. He still maintains this 1 second of a gap. As he's now past the lap card, you can see where Don Ellis is. Don Ellis is currently at around turns 11 and 12. Javier Lusby is now at turn 3, coming into the exit of turn 3. So lap cars may come around at around lap 20 or 30, so please take note of the current situation. And just wanted to adjust the information on Twitch. So anyways, we are looking into the possible stream manager and live unstable, average stream bitrate too high. I'm not sure why that is actually the case. Because I'm trying to accommodate both YouTube and Twitch. We'll be adjusting the info on Twitch later. Again, we've mentioned 10 laps complete, so we've now reached 25% race distance. So here's the problem with the cameras that we have mentioned earlier. Because why? This one actually tried to cover the previous section here, so you can see. Where the next potential battle we want to take a look into? That's Corey Rica Mendez against Kamner Reba. Still nothing coming out of these cars so far, at least as far as battles are concerned. And if you want to know about this section here, there used to be this is where the drivers approach this corner and all that stuff, and coming over here. So a bit of a history lesson, but not sure if anyone's going to be interested in that. We're more interested on the racing. But anyways, right now a lot of these drivers are not within 0.2 of a second between each other, and even then we cannot guarantee that we are able to spot it. Again, one person can only do so much. Wilson doing a decent job though on his lap time. Wimberley having a pretty lonely race in 21st. Evans also having a pretty lonely race. Tyler Williams in 23rd. Also, the ones who making. Oh, you can see here Mendes and Riba actually swap places between each other, and now Mendes is now up in 11th. Oh, and here's more battles. I want to take a look. Here's Adachi and Alashore, round 2. This time Alashore looking to attack against Adachi, and looks like this is going to be Alashore's win so far. Oh, here comes Hanare Miyuki now down the inside of Alcer Tarao. Into the Singapore sling. Oh, both drivers are pushing at it between each other. Both drivers are giving out everything they've got, but Antaro has to give way. Miyuki's now up in 15th. Puerto Rican Mendes now absolutely flying against Kaminari Reba. Meanwhile, here's Adachi now trying to catch up against El Ashore. He makes a move once again against El Ashore. El Ashore might have to compromise his line, but Adachi's line is also compromised. Ooh, you can see this Van Jensen's blocked up for Jake Martinez and Rudy Chu. So a bit of a accordion effect there. Speaking of which, Antara is looking for a fight back against Hanare Miyuki and Ajiji Marine number 44. So anyways, if you have your thoughts that you want to share, please feel free to drop something on the live chat in the comments. We will try our best to read. So please drop by your messages in the comments. So please, hopefully that you're able to be able to communicate even more. Oh, someone's going down the inside. That is Adachi and El Ashore. I'm thinking of Gigi Marine right now on my head. Never mind that. Thinking of Antara driving for Gigi Marine right now in this penultimate race for Gigi Marine. Anyways, Hobby Loosebait now has extended his lead to 1.2 seconds. Chanel Markman running third against Ryan Kagawa in second. Sven Rins, on the other hand, is catching up to Alson Tarao. And Jake Martinez is also ready to strike. Lots of racing action here in Singapore. And these actions are just continue to be so unrelenting here, and to some of these people, they will absolutely enjoy it. Nachitayo just chilling around in fourth place. Sven Jensen, on the other hand, is now under pressure from Jake Martinez. Jake Martinez might think of a move down the inside. Meanwhile, El Ashore and Kaminari Reba now go side by side as Martinez and Jensen. Oh, you can see here. Oh, they're also thinking of a move against Antaro, but Jake Martinez now thinks of a move against Van Jensen. And very nice to see respectable racing for the international field. As you can see here, Martinez goes around the outside against Jensen, and that's going to be a great move there for the young Singaporeans. As basically the local crowd gets to cheer on for the local hero. Javier Lusby at 147.794. This is where Don Elise is right now. So the lap car issue is still pretty much alive. 14 laps of racing here in Singapore complete. 700 laps of racing for this one day alone is very much a super huge undertaking. Still a lot going on here in Malaysia. Just wanted to check on a few So anyways, looking at some of the people who tried to message the organization for if they want us to commission them for something. I have no money. I'm literally broke, so don't bother. Meanwhile, looking at Ryan Kagawa, who's now getting closer and closer than ever to loose speed. Meanwhile, looking at the rest of the field, here's Santiago now catching up to Joey. Oh, you can see here Santiago now trying to catch up to Joey once again. Crazy stuff happening so far. Still nice to see that we still got people watching. Even though you know it's expected for some of these street circuit races to be pretty dull due to the lack of space and of course the conservative mindset of these drivers sometimes of wanting to bring these cars in one piece, especially given what happened in Suzuka. And that's Adachi and Miyuki now trading blows between each other. Now Adachi ahead of Hanari Miyuki. Still a lot of play for here, especially with Reba trying to essentially be the Pied Piper here. He's now literally the conductor of this trolley train. Is Antaro thinking of possibly a move against Miyuki, but nothing is coming out of it so far. Still 16 laps complete, and of course with the fuel regulations not applying for this round because host problems. So again, these drivers are going to be running a no pit stop race. It's just going to be a straight race until straight dogfight until the end. And as you see that this raw dogfight is giving us pretty decent yields. Just want to check on the rest of the field here to see if there are any potential battles here, especially the ones further back. Evans leading against Williams, leading against Loe Boschval and Dawn Elise in the Yofi, Elizabeth Rosebud Flame, Cecilia Emma Green, and Kuriji Ollie cars respectively. Oh, here's Van Jensen though getting very, very close there to Jake Martinez. May take a move down the inside there. Jensen now moves down the inside of Martinez, and oh, he gets very close, but not close enough. Oh, there's another battle here that's between Antaro and Miyuki. They're now trading blows between each other. Antaro got close, but it's not enough. Miyuki manages to defend. Kagawa slowly catching up against Looseby. Oh, here's another move down the inside. This time it's Boschval and Tyler Williams. Tyler Williams is going to try to defend, and he's able to defend so far. And now Boschwall is just going to press on at the moment. Santiago just in pursuit of Joey right now, and right now it's still pretty much a decent affair as far as racing is concerned. Got to see some good racing and clean racing from time to time, which is nice to see. Although there have been some crashes there, especially between F1 and Michan at around the first quarter stage of the race. Still a lot to play for in the Singapore Super Prix, round 5 of Formula Hololive International. We've already passed the first third of the season, and we're now continuing to progress further in what is currently a very promising season. Ryan Kagawa currently third, trying to catch, or rather Ryan Kagawa in second, trying to catch Javier Lusby. It's Ian versus ID. Exit the top 4 are currently in a bubble of their own. Don Elise is currently at a Singapore lane. Javier Lusby is now coming into turn 7. Oh, was that turn 6? So they're getting closer and closer than ever to lap cars, which should mean some spicy racing coming up. Oh man, just want to remind to you that I'm gonna go off topic a bit just to prevent me from getting bored in this stream, but so I'm just enjoying the the spicy slip, the sandal. Oh man, I'm enjoying the idea of spicy. SY shoes, spicy. And no, this is not me sleep commentating. I'm just trying to pass the time here while we're just waiting for more racing to happen, as these drivers are now just continuing to race on a single file basis. Meanwhile, further back we have Evans, Williams, and Boschwall and Don Elise still trying to remain on the status quo. And oh, here comes Corey Jimenez, but now Santiago. Now Santiago's now dropped down to 11th place. So now's a good time to show you all the progress charts. Almeida Short started 16th, now up to 12th. A good gain so far from him. Lusby and Kagawa to 8 places from the start. Yano Ryuki started 18th. She's now up to 15th. Then there's Bertelsen and Wimbley 20th and 21st for both of these drivers. Just gonna go for a slight commentary break. I just wanted to clear the throat for a while and then to clear the mind. So we're going to stay tuned and essentially just don't go anywhere. Abang jumpa wallet. Kamu jumpa kat mana?
Hey, Shaggy party's on there. It's a good thing. Shaggy, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. This is good Samaritan.
Oh wait. Sorry, I forgot to switch the wrong. Sorry, I forgot to switch the audio. 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 I accidentally switched all the desktop audio, and I left the mic auxiliary thing on. So again, I apologize for the slight commentary. So we apologize for the comment for the mic thing. So we apologize for the basically the mic just being exploded with something, because there's a bit of a personal belonging being found, but we'll talk about that later. We're going to move into the racing situation here, and now it's a battle between Ethan Burleson and Zeke Wimberly. Right now it's just between them so far. So we're going to take another commentary break here. This time we're going to actually turn on the microphone and auxiliary. So again, stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll be coming back to you in the next 2 or 3 laps. Anyways, back on to the racing action here in Singapore for the Singapore Super Prix in the Formula Hololive International season, as we're now officially past the halfway stage. Usmi and Kagawa are now separated by only about 0.4 of a second. So we got some good news here. So a personal belonging has been found. My personal belonging has been found. I thought I was going to have a bit of a heart attack. So we are going to resume onto the stream like nothing has ever happened. So I am just going to So anyways, it's still pretty much the status quo for the drivers involved. Just gonna write a thank you message. So I'm just going to So anyways, with the Wallet Saga now done and dusted, we are now going to move forward with our next agenda. And the next agenda is to literally just continue covering the race. That's it. So anyways, just wanted to check on to the second half of the race so far, and we're actually going to be checking on where Don Elise is. Don Elise is actually at around turn 12 and 13. And here is where Javier Lusby is, so the lap battle is going to be pretty much hot from this point on. So the battle for the race lead is going to be pretty interesting here, especially between the top 4 drivers. let's see if there are any other battles that we want to take a look here. Kamen Reba is still holding up the rest of the field here. Reba, Adachi, Miyuki, Martinez, and Taro Jensen and Rudy Chu now, and Eden Wilson now join in on the party. So Reba is actually leading this literal trolley train. He now currently sits 13th. Oh, here's another battle here. Antara Martinez going side by side, but this time it's Martinez now up into 16th place. So we're seeing a very decent charge here from the Mori Calliope driver. We're still going to be checking onto the progress chart. Martinez only gains a position from the start. He started 17th, although he did lose a position at the start. In 18th, he's now gotten himself back into where he is right now. So nice stuff to see regardless. Meanwhile, Javier Luzmi is about to catch some lap cars. Don Elise is currently in Javier Luzmi's radar, so he needs to think of a strategy to pass them immediately. And by them, I mean not just Don Elise, but also Louis Boschwall and Kyle Williams, and also running 22nd, Dan Evans. So we got the rest of the field here just wanted to clear themselves of whatever it is. So anyways, we got Dan Evans running 22nd, still running his own race. Yeah, Dan Evans sets a 149.9, meanwhile Javier Luzmi sets a 147.8. So of course we're going to see some lap cars getting in the way of the leaders. Also Hajiyazi and Rafael de Oliveira don't count them out just yet, and oh, what a loss of that rear end there we are seeing from Javier Luzmi. Nice to see people back, so apologies for the random background noise. So apologies, just want to remind you of what happened, just it's because I finally found my personal belonging. So there was a bit of a party at home, so everyone was like, oh, this is all fine and dandy, and then, wow. Just very, very... Just a very, very touching and wholesome story just to talk about here. Sometimes I just wanted to remind to you all that doing the right thing is always the best. Is always the best option in the long run. You will may not be racking up the news, but at the very least, people may be talking about your actions in the near future. So that's going to be a bit of a thing that we need to always highlight. And right now we get to see Javier Luzmi now starting to get absolutely blocked by lap cars, but I believe Javier Luzmi has already made the pass on Don Elise, so no problems on that so far. So for the challenge for the other drivers is to see if they're able to pass Elise, who's now currently running in 25th. Ryan Kagawa now down the inside of Don Elise, and apparently Don Elise is pretty easy to be dispatched here. Or around still side by side coming into the Esplanade, if I'm not mistaken, that's the name. And into turn 6. And into Stanford, and that is now Ryan Kagawa clearing the lap car. So the race is still on, but we got Chanel Markman and Hinochi Tayo on their own battle as well. We're gonna actually go on board Kagawa for this one to see how close he can get to Luzmi. into this hairpin section we go, and right now they're still... Ooh. Not much to separate. But you can see here, if Lusby starts to struggle to overtake, and then Ryan Kagawa is going to be able to get close, then Ryan Kagawa is going to be able to make the pass. So right now, as you can see here, Javier Lusby now struggling to even get close there to Louis Boschfall. Lusby just continues to race his own race. Oh, and that's a massive tank slapper for Lusby, but he should be able to continue on as usual. And as you can see here, and now you can see Kagawa now looking to continuously attack. They want people. Kagawa wants these drivers to say her name, and now Ryan Kagawa is getting absolutely close to Javier Lusby. Will take a move down the inside. Kagawa down the inside, yes or no? It's going to be a question mark because he hasn't made a move just yet. I can see here that the front left has been taking a huge beating. You know what other tire taking a huge beating? Oh, that's the front left, but for now, you can see that the leaders have already passed the lap cars. Here comes Shinochi Tayo now going down the inside. Oh, Chanel Markman, will there be a side-by-side battle? There's going to be no. Chanel Markman manages to hang on to third place. Meanwhile, Kagawa continues to get closer and closer and closer to Lusby, but again to no avail. And now coming into 27 laps complete, coming into the start of lap 28. The racing just continues to deliver and deliver and deliver. Joey now looking to also make a move against Aziz Muazif. I like the name Joey, especially for this entrant, given that he's just named Joey and just wants to be named Joey, and just like that. And it's very much a very interesting story to behold. Like, just wanted to and then there's also the idea to name him Baba Boy, but he's just okay with the name so much that we're just gonna leave it at that. So anyways, here's Joey again trying to make a move against Corey Riccomendez, as well as also Ryan Kagawa trying to make a move against Javier Lusby. If Lusby continues to struggle with those tire wear, then that's going to be something to watch out for. Oh, you can see here Lusby had a bit of an off there, but he should be able to go on as usual because Kagawa also had a bit of an off. Oh, here's another side-by-side battle here, but this time it's going to be Rudy Chu ahead of Sven Jensen. Martinez still up in 16 here, tries to defend against Antarao, and he's able to do so. Meanwhile, here's Lusby still struggling to get himself closer to the Louis Boschval. Meanwhile, Lusby is going to... It's a pretty equal exit speed for these two drivers, but you can see here Kagawa is getting very, very close here. You can see how close at a rate or not here. Kagawa's not catching up. Now down the inside goes Ryan Kagawa. This is for the race lead. But he has to back off there. He needs to give space to... Oh, there's more side-by-side battles here. Oh, that's Shinichi Tayo trying to make a move against General Markman, but Markman manages to defend into Padang, and now coming into the Singapore Sling. Oh, this is going to be an interesting final quarter of the race. This is for the drivers involved in this race. Oh, here comes Lusby, and here comes Kagawa. Kagawa just needs to get ever so closer and to just be further ahead than he was the last time by, and he should be able to get closer. Now, if Kagawa struggle here, or rather if Lusby struggle here, then it's going to be Ryan Kagawa on a guilt edge opportunity to take this race lead, but he needs to be careful to not repeat the same mistakes as Nichi Michan. Oh, what a massive trank slapper that was for Lusby. Kept the car under control once again. He just lost the rear. He's losing rear end grip, and this will come into the advantage, as we mentioned, of Kagawa. As we're now going to go down the inside, we're going to go Kagawa's on, but as he has to back off, as he made a move way too early. And he doesn't want to risk slamming to the outside wall, so he has to take a break and fight for another day. Oh, and meanwhile we get to see Javier Lusby trying to make a move against Louis Boschwald, but it's not coming to fruition. So Kagawa is sniffing for an opportunity. So let's see if Kagawa is going to be able to... Oh, he can now goes down the inside of Lusby. And we're going to go into his onboard once again to see how this race progresses here for these leaders. Lusby versus Kagawa. This is going to be timeless. Kagawa has to think of it, but he has to back off. Now we got both of these drivers struggling for grip. Now this is going to be an interesting sight to see here as we with this zero pit stop rule that is enforced in this race. And now you can see here how much of a struggle Kagawa is trying to corner. And now he's going to open the door for Dawn and Lise to unlap herself. And here comes Tayo and Markman. And you can see here Hazik Yazid also has been looking for an opportunity against Shinichi Tayo. Shinichi Tayo currently 4th, Markman 3rd. Markman's looking for an opportunity to get past Dawn Elise. He's getting very close. He's going to take a move of a dive bomb down the inside. That's going to be a move for him. He's like gets slightly pushed off wide to give room for Elise. Meanwhile, we got Kagawa and Lusby still on the race on their own. 11 laps to go here in Singapore, and the race just continues to deliver on their promise. And here comes Javier Lusby now down the inside of Ryan Kagawa. You saw Ryan Kagawa there trying to make a move at around turn 13. And now you can see here that the battles just keep on going here. They're still side by side, but this time it's Ryan Kagawa with the race lead. Oh man, you're gonna see this replay time and time again as you saw how that battle came in. It was Ryan Kagawa suddenly making a move down the inside against Javier Luzbi at turn 13, and they were going side by side at it. Neither giving an inch, but now it's Ryan Kagawa in control of this race. And also we got to see Ryan Kagawa trying to hang around the outside at turn 14 and into turn 15. It becomes the inside line. Oh, and that's someone crashing! That's Sunil Markman! The second of the Fuamoco cars! It's not a bow day for the Fuamoco drivers. And what a disaster weekend it has been for the Fuamoco combination in Formula Hololive, with both of their cars now retiring. That is absolutely unfortunate. If you want to know how it was a side-by-side battle, and it looks to me that it was actually Don Elise who pushed Chanel Markman. So the drivers, the organization is going to be taking a huge investigation onto how Elise essentially slammed into Markman. Well, they're also going to be taking a look into Nishimicha Shandareza and Evelyn Crome's accidents after the race. Just wanted to remind you all about the events that will be coming up. What turn of events that we have had so far. What an emotional roller coaster that we've had so far. Meanwhile, we got drivers now finally passing the side of where Markman has crashed. There's Javier Luzbi now continuing on his race as usual. Now about to start lap 33, but this time it's going to be look, here's this thing one. Hiroshi Taiyo is now going to be making a move there against Javier Luzbi. So the race lead that he's had is now gone, and now he's just struggling to get by. And right now, with Luzbi now struggling to get for grip, to finally get into terms with his current grip right now in his current position, he might be in serious risk to continue losing positions. Hazik Yazid is in 4th, now trying to clear Don Elise. And if both of these drivers lose time at this section, your Rafa is going to snatch the opportunity to get into 4th place. Luzbi is currently in 2nd, Kagawa in the race lead. Oh, you can see there might be some battles coming up here into the Singapore Sling. Jake Martinez now up into 15th after the retirement of Chanel Markman. But he's going to be eyeing for the move against Hanare Miyuki. And Alcantara, notice Jake Martinez actually not having a very good exit. Alcantara is going to be thinking of a move. Hiroshi Taiyo now currently in 3rd place, trying to attack Javier Luzbi once again. Javier Luzbi, oh, is not having a good exit here. Hiroshi Taiyo is going to be making a move down the inside at the start-finish line. Here's both of these drivers now making their way into turn 1. And down the inside, possibly, oh, you can see here, she forces Javier Luzbi to go the other way around and to further compromise his tires. Here we go again. Hiroshi Taiyo now trying to get a pretty decent exit from Luzbi, but Luzbi is actually pretty much far ahead here. So, something very interesting to look at. Kagawa now has to deal with the whip Boschwald in front of him. Meanwhile, Taiyo is going to be looking for something. She's going to be looking for that 2nd place finish. She wants a result that will redeem the result that she has had, the bad result that she has had in the past. She wants to find that the shield. It's called the Perisai G2 in Indonesian, which shouldn't mean a sturdy shield. Meanwhile, we got, oh, that's Joey and Aziz Muazim now trading blows between each other. Now it's Joey now up in 7th place. And you can see here they're just going to go on as usual. Third 3 laps complete. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. 8 laps to go here in... Oh, right at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1. Yeah, 8 laps to go here in Singapore Super Prix race. And the race is all going to proceed as usual. Lusby continues to struggle on that final corner. And now we get to see Tayo using her fresher tires, or better kept tires, to great effect. And you can see here how much slipping and sliding Lusby has had so far. Here comes Tayo Tayo. He is now very, very close there to Javier Lusby. And now the gap between Kagawa and Lusby now extended to 3 seconds. That just shows you the extent of Javier Lusby's tire woes. Tayo currently in 3rd place. Still trying to find a way past Javier, who's currently struggling with tire wear and with no incentive to pit right now, because he really wants this 2nd place and at least to retain the spot in the podium. Kagawa lost the lead initially in the start of the race and only recently got his lead back. But we can call it a light pole to 1st place run. And we're going to also need to check back on who got the fastest lap. Obviously, it's not a Grand Slam because Javier Lusby led a lot of laps in this race. But still a pretty good achievement nonetheless. The Shunmuna driver, meanwhile, is going to be looking for something against Lusby, who's struggling for tire wear, especially at the rear. But right now, Kagawa is now slower than both Lusby and Tayo right now, as he's now struggling to overtake. Oh, and this time it's going to be Lusby now with the loose rear end. The race is now wide open once again. 6 laps to go. Meanwhile, Jensen and Wimberly have traded places. And now Bertelsen now goes up into 19th place. Wimberly's now having a good race relative to his winning form that he's had. Joey with his personal best. He's now going to be eyeing against Juan Castato and Rafael de Oliveira. He's now unleashing his energy to the world. And now, looking at Hinoshi Tayo once again, the gap was 3. The gap still remains as it is. Meanwhile, Lusby and Kagawa's gap, since Kagawa retook the lead, the gap was at maximum 3 seconds, but now it has closed down. The race is wide open once again. As Tyler Williams now pulls away against Ludwig Boschwald. And meanwhile, Dan Evans now trying to defend against Tyler Williams. And they're now just about side by side. But coming into Connaught, Williams is now too far back to actually make a move down the inside. Or does he? Meanwhile, Lusby just needs to defend his position. But you can see here Tayo having a pretty decent run off of that corner, and now coming in to attack against Lusby. Oh, and this time there's a pretty good launch there by Tayo, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The race coming into its conclusion, but will there be a dive bomb? Still nothing. Oh, again, slipping and sliding there by Lusby. Kagawa also experiencing the same issue, and this time it's Wimberly and Bertelsen now trading both between each other once again, but this time it's now still Bertelsen still up in 19th. Five laps to go here in Singapore for the Singapore Super Prix. Luspi currently in second place, now trying to defend against Inochi Taiyo. So right now we got Inochi Taiyo trying to close in on Javier Luspi now, as we're about to reach the final 4 laps of this race. And now this time it's Inochi Taiyo with rear end instability, as their tires are now pretty much worn out. And here comes Martinez and Antanarao. And now trading place between each other. Now Martinez now gets up into 15th. The local driver on his final race for Mori Calliope has now gained 2 places from the start. Looking at the other drivers who gained a lot of places from the start. Ella Shore started 16th, now up into 11th. Kyle Williams started 27th, now up to 22nd. But mostly he was making use of crashes. But game positions are game positions anyway, so you can't really complain about that. Oh, that's a lot of drifting and slipping and sliding for El Ashore. Meanwhile, there's Taiyo, still unable to catch up to Javier Luspi, and Ryan Kagawa, meanwhile, has been able to open up the gap now to 4 seconds. Ryan Kagawa is now making everyone say her name, and that name is Narissa Ravencroft, as Ryan Kagawa continues to build his gap to continue to essentially build his way into his first Formula Hololive International win. This is of course his first full-time season here for the young driver. Around the same age as Muhammad Shakib Reza, born in 2007. Lots of young talents coming in to race in the Aero, which is also very, very nice to see. Right, now we got around 37 laps complete, soon to be 38 laps complete. 3 laps to go here in Singapore, and we're not going to be seeing Ryan Kagawa. We can actually think of it as a second home race for this guy. Just want to remind you that Singapore was part of Malaysia, and Ryan Kagawa is Malaysian. So Nagaraku playing on this, Nagaraku playing on the national anthem on the podium is pretty much fitting. If it's not Majulah Singapore, Nagaraku may also work as well. But anyways, Kagawa is going to be looking to find a way past Lowe Boschval. Speaking of which, Inochi Taiyo is also, meanwhile, is going to be looking for something against Javier Luspi, but I think she's made the move way too early. Or does she? Oh, and that's a good run off of turn 6 and into turn 7, and oh, she gets very close, but once again that line doesn't work, and you can see here the lap car Donnelly's now looking for something against the 2 drivers to cause even more pandemonium. Meanwhile, as the drivers are continuing to progress on their own, Kagawa's now opened up the gap to 6 seconds. Looking into the other drivers, Joey's still trying to catch up to Juanica Santa, but he's running a lonely race right now. But it is a very promising race, as he's now in 7th place. Corey Rica Mendez at 9th, Santiago 10th, Ella Shore 11th, Aziz Moses in 8th, Reba 12th, Adachi 13th, Miyuki 14th. 15 goes to Jake Martinez, of course, in his last race for Mori Calliope, his one and only home race in Singapore right now. Alison Chanarao 16th, Chu 17th, Jensen 18th, Bertelsen 19th, and Wimberley 20th. Dan Evans in 21st, and Dial Williams in 22nd. Here's Lowe Boschval in 23rd, and Don Elise in 24th. Oh, you can see the slipping and sliding. Oh, that was crazy. Anyways, penultimate lap here in Singapore for the Singapore Super Prix in the 2024-25 Formula Hololive International season. Ryan Kagawa hasn't had a foot wrong much. He just, even though he lost the lead, He kept his composure, he kept his patience, and for him to just keep on driving his race. And of course, he knows how to drive these types of cars. Sure, he may be a bit iffy at times, but he could get this to work. One and a half laps to go before Ryan Kagawa clocks in his official first win of his ARO career, his first in Formula Hololive for Nerissa Ravencroft. Yuval Hinoshitayo now going down the inside of Javier Lusby. This is going to get tight between the two. Look at the radar on the bottom right. Tayo still side by side at 11 and 12. And still nothing to separate between the two, but it's now Hinoshitayo in second place. Very, very promising stuff. And hopefully this is going to be a light that at the end of a very, very long and dark tunnel for Hinoshitayo. The pre-side G2 would finally show up to be the shield for Tayo against bad luck. Meanwhile, excuse me for the sneeze, as we're going to greet Ryan Kagawa for his one last score in the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the Singapore Super Free. Currently, he's on the final lap, and he is now still on the charge. Now the gap is 6.7 seconds, so he can afford to rest a bit. An interesting race from start to finish. Although it got very quiet at times, and it was interrupted by a sudden wallet fine in the middle of the stream, so apologies for that one as well. So anyways, Ryan Kagawa, as we mentioned, didn't put a foot wrong. His race may not be perfect, but he executes it perfectly given the circumstances, given how Javier Lusby was attacking him at the start, and that resulted in Kagawa losing the lead. But that doesn't really matter if Kagawa has been once Kagawa has been able to dispatch Javier Lusby. Ryan Kagawa, only a few corners left until he makes history. A few more corners before people will have to utter her name. Speaking of which, Martinez and Miyuki are not trading blows between each other. They're still side by side. Martinez on the outside on the second to last chicane. Miyuki's on the inside. But this will be beneficial for Martinez. And oh, more slipping and sliding for these drivers. Meanwhile, for Ryan Kagawa, as we mentioned, he's only got a few more corners left to make people mention her name. They want to make people say her name. And that name, of course, is Nerissa Ravencroft, the demon of sound. Her sultry voice allures all, allures many who listen. And of course, Ryan Kagawa is moved by her songs and her sounds. And now with her sounds, Kagawa translates this into performance on the racetrack. Coming into the final corners here in Marina Bay, Ryan Kagawa wins the Singapore Super Prix. Hinoshitayo with a respectable second place to finally put that Hinoshinova Muna car on the podium. Javier Lusby third. De Oliveira rounds up fourth place. De Oliveira fifth. Yazid fourth. Costanto sixth. Joey seventh. Oh, some rubbing doors between these two drivers right at the end. Wazif eighth. Mendes 9th. Santiago 10th. Elashore 11th. Riba 12th. Adachi 13th. Martinez set to finish 14th in his final Formula Hololive race for Morikawa before the foreseeable future. Miyuki 15th, Antero 16th, Rudy Chu 17th, Sven Jensen 18th provisionally, as well as Bertelsen and Wimberley, and Dan Evans too. Williams and Boswell. Alex has been lapped, so they will. So that's why Alex is going slowly because her race is done. Oh, there's a big sliding there by Adachi. And all these drivers are just going to go single file as the race concludes. Just wanted to pay attention to Lily Boswell as the last driver to cross the line. Again, congratulations to Ryan Kagawa for winning the Singapore SB and to win his first race for and to win his first race for Nerissa Ravencroft. Nerissa Ravencroft's first win. Also, for that, congratulations. And with that being said, let's take a look into the race results. Lots of upsets here for all things considered. Let's take a look into the results. Ryan Kagawa wins the Singapore Super Prix for Nerissa Ravencroft, with Hino Shidayo finishing second, portion of Amuna. And the chains have finally been unleashed. True. For Vesha Zeta, Javier Lospe finishes third in car number 03, which may be rebranded to car 07 later on. Hazik Yazid fourth for Sherry Novella, with Rafael de Oliveira fifth for Pavoli Arena. Juan Castanto sixth for Ora Crony, with Joey 7 in his debut Formula Hololive race for Hakos Bales. Aziz Moaziv 8th for Ayunda Risi, with Corrigo Mendez 9 for Takanashi Kara, with Bernardo Santiago 10 for Watson Emilia. Ahmed Alajor 11 for Kyle Kovalsky, Kamina Riba 12 for Raura Pantera. Takeda Adachi, the Takodachi in 13th place, with Jake Martinez 14th, for his last race for Moy Calliope. Has one race in Singapore, he finishes 14th. Miyuki 15 for Copo Canero, with Al Santaro 16 for Gigi Marine. 17 goes to Rudy Chiu for his first finish in Formula Hololive International. Congratulations to him for finishing in Mephisto number 33. Then there's Iris, the Irish driver, the aristocrat, Sven Jensen in 18th, Ethan Burleson 19th for Nanashimumi, and Zeke Wimberley 20th for Sarasvana. Dan Evans 21st for Irene 15th, Tyler Williams 22nd for Elizabeth Rose Bufflin, with Bosch for the last driver to finish on the lead lap. He finishes 23rd for Cecilia Evergreen. Don Elise 24th for Reggioli. Chanel Markman and Nichi Michan, the Fuamoko drivers, finished 25 and 26. Unfortunately, Moshazar Reza will be credited with 27 for Koseki Biju, and Evelyn Cromi will be credited as last for Gaogura. What a race this is! What a race this was! The race delivered under the lights. Of course, there has been issues in the commentary, so apologies for that. So let's take a look into what happened to Mohammed Shadin Reza at the start. So if you want to know the reason here, so here is Mohammed Shadin Reza is on board. So he has to take it easy there, because he knows that other drivers are just trying to press on as usual. And as you can see here, Shadin Reza just tries to navigate here. And it looks to me that, oh, he got spun over. And also collects Evelyn Cromie and causes both of them to get stuck. And, oh man, that explains everything. So if you want to know what happened to both of them, here's what happened. So Shadrez, I believe, hobbled onto the curbs, and I believe was hit by Zeke Wimberley. Oh, yeah, he was tagged by Dan Evans. So it looks to me that Dan Evans will be receiving a 30-second time penalty for his infraction for causing a collision. And also, Shadin Reza collected Evelyn Karomi at the start. So let's take a look into Evelyn Karomi's onboard as it happened. And as you can see here, got pushed by the way Boschfall, and unfortunately was collected by Mohammed Shadin Reza. Yeah, and then the tire punctured, and it's game over. But that doesn't explain the likes of Chanel Markman and Nichi Michan. So let's take a look into what happened to Chanel Markman. So let's take a look here before we get into Nichi Michan. So right now we are looking at Dan Evans getting a penalty. So here Chanel Markman have a very good exit. Now makes a move against Don Elise. Oh man, he was already ahead at that time, and he was slammed by Don Elise. As you can see here, Chanel Markman was already ahead, and but you can see here, so it's going to be very difficult to determine on whether or not who is going to be at fault. So he understeered against Don Elise. So and Don Elise hit him, and forced rebound, a rebound, forcing a markman into the inside wall. So, yeah. Yeah, that is gotta be very frustrating. But anyways, that's not the only incident we want to take a look here. We also want to take a look into Nichi Michan. So here's what happened to Nichi Michan. This is Kamen Reba. Again, same thing what happened to Chanel Markman on the same corner too. So it looks to me that the only potential penalty that we might be giving is for Dan Evans. So we're gonna check on Dan Evans again on the start to see what has happened. So we're gonna see Dan Evans on board to see if we can potentially penalize him. So as you can see, he's just trying to navigate the circuit. Here's Mama Reza on the scene here. Yeah, you can see here. You can say this is a racing incident, but yeah, he absolutely he turned Reza. He wasn't ahead. So it's going to be a 30-second penalty for Dan Evans for causing a collision with another driver, which also resulted in a DNF. So that being said, we are going to process the results. We're only going to be showing you the top 20, mind you, due to the bug with the standings. So we're just going to wait until we are going to be able to finish the loading of the results. That is, if the results actually do load. And right now, Assetto Corsa is going to crash again. And Assetto Corsa has crashed, which would mean that so this would mean that we're gonna have to manually input the results here. So please, yep, the results did not process. The results did not process. We're gonna have to manually input the results ourselves. So please give us time to process the results, especially given this is a national race, so it will take a long time to get the results processed. So please give us some time to get the result ready. So please give us some time to process the results, and we'll give you some updates in due course. We should be updating you in the next 2 or 3 hours. Over for today, or rather tonight. We'll see you in the next stream. I believe the next stream will be the Indonesia Grand Prix at Sentul. So we'll see you there. So with that being said, I'm Mama in the commentary booth, and take care everyone, and have a nice night.